What is up, most distinguished patrons of this channel? Today I have an interesting video for you guys, and it has to do with the topic of the worst welds I've ever seen. Now, a couple disclaimers here. One, I actually didn't see these in person. A buddy of mine that works for the same company that I do saw these and snapped the pictures. I'm sure at some point I will find my way over to this facility and will see these things firsthand. The second disclaimer I want to put out there is I run this channel and share tips on how to weld because I want to see everybody doing a good job and learning skills and believing in themselves. I don't normally make fun of anything, but this stuff here is so far ridiculous that I just wanted to share it, make some comments on it, and maybe we can all learn from something and have a chuckle because guess what? I'm guilty of it too. I don't put down perfect welds all the time. Although I'll be honest, I don't think I've ever put down welds as bad as you're going to see. But guess what? You don't have to put down bad welds like this. If you spend a little bit of time researching videos and practicing, you could do a lot better than what you're going to see. And to be honest, some of this stuff is pretty scary for reasons that you'll soon find out. All right, let's dive in. So as an overview of what we're looking at here, we are looking at hydraulic lines that operate at 3000 psi inside of a plant. Now the odd thing about these photos is some of the welds in them looked absolutely perfect and in other ones were unbelievably bad, and I didn't really understand what was going on. I ended up getting some backstory from the guy who originally welded these lines in and found out that originally they were welded very good, but there were some failures of the lines with cracks and problems, and the in-house maintenance came back and did repairs rather than calling the company that I work for to do repairs on it. To start things off, let's take a look at these two couplers here. So you can see the bottom line, the weld looks pretty good, hasn't failed, no cracks, and then you look at that repair on the top and it's unbelievably bad. When I first saw these pictures, I thought somebody had torch welded or stick welded this and just couldn't get it to work, but it actually is TIG welded. They put so much heat into that area up top that they basically cooked all the chromium out of it and it started oxiding and rusting, so that's why you see that black appearance. Some of that also could just be soot, but overall that's pretty atrocious. Part of what was likely going on with this is they couldn't get pinholes to close. They probably didn't drain out the hydraulic oil, clean the pipe somehow, and let it flash off, like say you cleaned it out with acetone or some kind of degreaser, and they kept welding and welding and welding, and they probably couldn't get rid of the porosity that was causing leaks, especially at 3000 psi. So they basically kept welding until it stopped leaking, and had they done it right from the start, they wouldn't have had to do this. And the sad thing is this thing will probably leak again in the future because they likely didn't solve the very reason that it failed in the first place. Based on how good the welds look like that were untouched and the fact I talked with the guy that did them, I believe there's a multitude of reasons as to why the original welds cracked or failed, requiring repairs. The first one being that apparently all of these couplers, all the fittings and tube was only rated for 3000 psi, and the system itself operated basically at the absolute max rating of the piping. That combined with likely vibrations or expansion contraction changes with heat likely would have led to cracks near the toe of the weld, because that's, I guess, what happened is right at the toe of the weld, it cracked through the pipe and the weld, causing, well, fluid leaks. Another major contributor towards why this failed could be what's called internal undercut or weld suckback. When you look at the size of that weld on there on that coupler, it's not a huge weld, but it's big enough to where if it was run super hot in that tube, likely doesn't have the greatest wall thickness, what would end up happening is that weld will shrink, pull together towards the middle, and because the inside of the tube was likely red hot, almost molten, it can pull that tube back towards the coupler, thus creating what looks like undercut inside of the tube. That undercut is basically the perfect place for a crack to propagate from, and it makes it really easy with expansion and contraction to have failures right at the toe line. So if you ever see failures right at the edge of a weld, like especially with aluminum or just with steel. Like a very common one would be exhaust headers. They typically crack right at the toe line of the weld. The reason is internal undercut or weld suckback. The last reason this likely was an issue that required repair was due to lack of back purging. I don't know if this stuff was back purged or not, but when you're dealing with taking a material to the absolute limit of what it's rated for, in this case 3000 psi, any kind of internal oxides that were on the backside of that weld would have been perfect places for cracks to propagate from. Now that sugaring that you generally get on back purged material with stainless isn't generally a huge strength concern for most things, but again, when you're dealing with this level of pressure and stress, anything that's a discontinuity could very well cause problems. So I believe that was likely a contributor as well. Now this is looking real rough. Once again, still the same 3000 psi. I wouldn't doubt that this is going to end up failing and leaking again in the future, although who knows how long this held. This might have been repaired 2-3 years ago. But hey, I guess it doesn't leak right now, so that's a plus. I apologize for the blurriness of some of these photos. It's just super zoomed in. I'll have to get some better ones in the future when I'm over at this plant. The one in the lower right reminds me of a flower or something, and the contrast between that weld and the original weld is night and day. Keep in mind, the guy that welded the original welds on that tube and the one in the upper left was a first-year apprentice steam fitter, so not really a whole lot of welding experience, yet clearly could do a good job. It's just unfortunate due to the circumstances, it just didn't work and it cracked. It's not necessarily his fault. If anything, take it as you can do a good job and put down decent looking welds, and guess what? It can still fail due to likely an engineering problem. I'll tell you what, it's pretty hard to out-weld a bad engineering problem. If it's screwed from the start, it's probably going to be screwed for the long term. This is real wild. I'm not really sure why vertical beads are run rather than horizontal. I mean, there's lots of ways to skin a cat, but I've never seen it done this way, I guess. I wish that lower weld in the lower left hand was more visible, but it looks like half of it just dripped off the side. It's honestly not that hard to do repairs on stuff like this. I mean, obviously the oil contamination issue is a major problem that will make you hate your life having to work on stuff like this. But with TIG, it's all about just keeping a tight arc gap, having enough argon shielding, and if it gets hot, just stop welding it. Don't just keep welding on it and welding on it and welding on it. Well, it's hot. It's just going to go far worse for you. If you're ever bored and want to unlock a new fear in your life, Google injection site injuries and learn about those. The danger with hydraulics is, well, mostly the cylinder and what it's attached to crushing or pinching you, but a very common injury with hydraulics is what's called an injection site injury, where hydraulic fluid at very high pressure will literally penetrate through your skin and fill your internals with hydraulic oil. And that's such a real danger on stuff like this that if you were ever tasked with doing welds like this and you know that you can't do it or your results start looking like this, you're better off for your own sake just declining to do the job, because this is serious stuff that could get somebody hurt. Like, who knows what's even holding in this photo, and if someone's by it and bumps it and that cracks and sprays out 3000 psi of fluid, you could seriously hurt or kill somebody with this stuff. This one might be 309 stick rod, maybe. I don't know. Some of these look like they could have been stick. The guy that was there told me that they all look like TIG welds in person, but who knows? This is rough, though. At least the one benefit is once the pressure is relieved via a crack, that the pressure drops fast and it's less of a danger. If this was super high pressure air or something, it'd be far more dangerous. Well, if you have any stories of welds like this that you put down or you saw, feel free to leave them in the comments. I know that it's pretty rare that I see stuff this bad, and generally it's done by in-house maintenance and not the original installer. The truth is, it doesn't take that much skill to put down decent welds. You just have to care about what you're doing and spend some time practicing. And this pretty much shows a complete disregard for those things, and probably just not caring in general. And it adds proof to the pudding on the old saying that nothing's more permanent than a temporary fix that works. With that said, until next time.